Welcome to Practical Motorhome TV. Now there's no chance of a slide in popularity on this show because we bring you the very best of motor caravanning every week. So as always, let's start right at the very top. Big news is afoot in Swift's 2018 mid-market motorhome offering. Yes, Bolero has been given the Spanish Archer to be replaced by Bessacar, a range popular with traditionalists that has now been given a hefty shove up market. Last season's 400 series has made way for the 500 series, returning after hiatus when it was last seen in 2014. 10 floor plans are available, including 4 new models, among which you'll find the 599, an island bed 4-berth based on the Fiat Ducato. Changes for 2018 see the arrival of Black Edition cabs, 16-inch alloy wheels, a new sidewall decor scheme including extruded gold lettering for Bessacar, and that's in addition to a twin-lens reversing camera on the back panel. But that's enough on the outside. Let's see what they've done on the inside for the new Bessacar range. Now, the Bessacar 599 is a borrow from Swift's Toscana 794QB, which it makes for export only. As standard, the configuration features an L-shaped dinette up here. The soft furnishings are Silverado. If you would like a parallel seating option, no problem at all. Then you can have the 599 lounge. Now, new for 2018 is ambient lighting under the lockers, as well as ambient lighting over the lockers. And that's in addition to natural light flooding in from 2 side windows and from a roof light up above. Now the lounge is on a split level, which is nice. However, I have discovered a little drawback. If you're a 6-footer like me, things are going to get a little cozy. Now the 599's kitchen is quite small, but it does have some standout features. Dual fuel cooker with a separate oven and grill. And these Fenix worktops have thermal healing properties. Sounds amazing. There's a little shelf there under 2 plug sockets, thoughtfully mounted around 90 degrees. Down here we have some storage. Part of the unit's made by Italian design gods Technoform, so you know the quality is absolutely top drawer. Also a microwave oven, overhead lockers that are both soft closing, and on the near side of the van we have the on-trend skinny fridge. Now this particular layout has the washroom arranged across the width of the van. You can create your own private dressing area by opening the door and latching it shut like that. Inside this space you have a swivel loo, a corner vanity unit, a half-length mirror, a cupboard and an Audi wet central heating radiator instead of a towel radiator, so it's always going to be warm and toasty in there. On the other side of the van we have a semicircular shower unit with an Eco-Camel shower head for maximum water efficiency. Now some exhibitionists may be a little bit disappointed by the fact it's a frosted shower door, but we think it's probably for the best. Now this is a proper island bed, none of that retractable business, so it's always ready for action. The ambience in here is spot on, overlocker lighting, plenty of soft furnishings and soft textures. Probably not quite as opulent as one of Donald Trump's bedrooms, but perhaps not far off. Now there's a dedicated TV station at the foot of the bed on the near side, while on the off side a handy mirror and a plug socket makes it a great place for doing your hair and makeup. Storage wise, you're well catered for here. There's also a handy shelf on each side of the bed for your specs, glasses or drinks. And probably what's best of all about that is there's a little hatch underneath so you can access the rear storage area from both sides of the bed. The Bessacar 599 is based on the Fiat Ducato with a 3,850 kilogram chassis, so you have to have C1 driving license entitlement to drive it. Now the 599 is the only island bed floor plan in the range. And notice that I said range. Yes, for 2018, Swift has had a bit of a reorganisation. Bessacar is now a range rather than a sub-brand. Swift has done this because it believes there is a lot of equity in the Swift brand. There's also plenty of equity in the Bessacar brand. And on the evidence of what we've seen today in this refreshed lineup, I can't think of any reason why the 2018 version would be any less successful than last year's.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Diamond Dave's Workshop. Today we're going to be looking at towing. Many people tow something behind the motorhomes, whether it be a motorbike on a trailer or a small box trailer to extend your payload, or even, as in my case, a race car on a trailer. First thing obviously you need is a tow bar. Now, before 2012 there was very little legislation that applied to motorhome tow bars. Since 2012 the tow bar has to be type approved. That means it has to be designed, tested and approved for that vehicle that it's fitted to. This is a tow bar I took off a motorhome recently. Not a particularly good design. The main sidewall section is too thin, not really strong enough. The welding isn't terribly good, and it was only fastened to the chassis with 4 fixings. The other thing about this tow bar is this extension bar is too long. It allows a lot of flex. On a motorhome with about 2 metres overhang from the rear axle to the back of the van, that will add another ½ metre nearly, and that just aggravates any bounce. It will be very unpleasant to tow anything on that tow bar. I certainly wouldn't want to tow anything as heavy as this trailer on it. Let's have a look at the tow bar itself. Modern tow bars have to be a proprietary made unit, nice and strong. This is actually 10mm thick steel, properly designed for this vehicle. Somewhere on the tow bar will be a data plate that will give the maximum it can tow, the maximum weight it can tow, and the maximum download applied to the tow ball. It will be not dissimilar to this data plate for the trailer. Now the trailer should also have a data plate like this. That will give the chassis number, the maximum trailer weight, that's the maximum this trailer and any load it's carrying can weigh, in this case 1700 kilos. Maximum nose weight, which is the downward force on the tow ball, and then the 2 axle weights, 1 and 2, 850 kilos each. Any trailer that you're towing really should have a data plate on it. Don't exceed those figures. It's just like overloading your motorhome. If you get stopped and you're overloaded, the penalties can be quite severe. At worst, they could even stop you using the vehicle. So best to pay attention to that and stay within those figures. Let's just go and have a quick look at the VIN plate of the vehicle, and we can see from that what the towing weights of the vehicle are. So here we have the VIN plate for the towing vehicle. This will give us our maximum vehicle weight and our maximum towing weight. The first line here, 3,500 kilos, 3.5 tonnes. That's the maximum this vehicle is allowed to weigh, including anything that it's carrying. That includes me, my wife, my dog. The second line, 6,500 kilos, is the gross train weight. That's the maximum the vehicle and any trailer that it's towing can weigh in total. So in theory, this vehicle could tow a 3-ton trailer. Then the next line is the front axle maximum, 2,100 kilos, and finally the rear axle maximum of 2,400 kilos. Obviously, if you're towing a trailer, you need to bear in mind those weights, especially the rear axle weight. If your vehicle is close to its rear axle limit without a trailer on, you have to bear in mind that when you put a trailer on the back, and you might have 100 kilos nose weight on the trailer, that's another 100 kilos being applied on the rear axle. So just be careful of that. And finally, the last thing you need to be aware of is licences. Now to tow, you need C1 plus E on your licence. C1 is the light truck up to 7.5 tonnes, and the E is the trailer allowance. So in total, with the C1 plus E, you could drive an outfit weighing a total of 8,250 kilos. That's a 7.5 tonne vehicle and a 750 kilo trailer, or any combination up to that maximum. Pay attention to your weights, pay attention to your VIN plates, pay attention to your detail plates on your trailer and your tow bar, and you won't go far wrong. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you next time.
The oldest Autoquest is Britain's best-selling motorhome range, and as the old saying has it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Eldest isn't the kind of company that sits on its hands. It wants to tempt buyers for the 2018 season. So Autoquest therefore goes forward with some spec bumps and detail improvements. So let's have a look at some of these on the 155, a French bed parallel lounge 4-berth that's very popular with people crossing over from caravanning. New for 2018, the habitation door gets its own window, and that's in addition to a brand new decal scheme for the sidewalls. Moving inside the van, there are also a few tweaks on display. The first of which is a new soft furnishing scheme that's so new they haven't even named it yet. Yes, you guessed correctly, we're here of the official preview, so we are literally having the first look at these new vans. Now this is the caravan style parallel lounge seating. You don't always see it in most motorhomes these days because a popular configuration is to have two travel seats arranged here in a line. But there are two travel seats in this particular van because belts equal berths as part of an eldest policy. So there's a seat belt for each sleeping position. But you're probably wondering, where are the travel seats? I can't see anything. Simple, they're actually down there in the bed boxes. And if you do need to deploy the guest bed, then it makes up in a jiffy using sliding slats and rearranging the bed cushions, and the width is a whopping 6 foot 10 inches. Now, to create space for food preparation and the like, you just drop these lids. And you have to say that with them in the lowered position, there's a lot to get stuck into. If you need any more, however, then how about this worktop extension flap, which is also useful for popping plates on when you're serving into the dining area. And obviously there is a table that stores in the wardrobe of a folding leg variety that gets into the gangway in a matter of seconds. Now, one of the main plus points of the 155, of course, is its fixed French bed at the rear. Now, this particular example is 6 foot 4 inches long, so plenty of room for people to get comfortable and have a great night's sleep. And bear in mind that this van is actually 7 meters long, so that's a pretty good use of space all round. Now, some people say they don't really like the idea of a fixed bed because you're basically just driving something around and they're not very space efficient. But look at it this way. Underneath there is an absolutely whopping storage compartment where you can get absolutely loads of things into that under bed space, and you can also load them from the side of the van through an external storage hatch. Now, next to the bed is the corner washroom, and to be honest, it is the only compromise in this van. But then again, you still get the essentials. It may be limited by space, but there's a tip-up sink, a swivel loo and a shower. So if you don't use the facilities on site, it's handy to know you've got all the essentials in your own van. Now, the Autoquest range is based on the Peugeot Boxer with a 2-litre engine producing 130 bhp. And as of last year, don't forget, it's the Euro 6 emissions rating, so you're bang on the money in terms of being green. Now, the MTPLM of these vehicles are 3,500 kilograms, and in the case of the 155, last year's model had a 612 kilogram user payload, which is very generous, especially if you would take into account that a touring couple will account for 150 kilograms on average. So there's plenty of space and weight to distribute your touring kit and caboodle. A couple of other highlights in the cab include DAB radio, very good indeed, with USB and Bluetooth connectivity for smartphones and tablets. Now, our test van is fitted with the optional Lux Pack, which at last year's prices was £1,218, and this adds cab air conditioning, cruise control and a passenger airbag. Now, we haven't had the prices and weights for 2018 Autoquest models yet, but last year's 155 cost just over £41,000 on the road. And bear in mind that for that you get 4 berths, 4 belts and a spec list that is very respectable. Bear in mind though that if that's not enough for you and you fancy a little bit more in the creature comforts department, then why not get a dealer special edition of the Autoquest? Not for nothing is this Britain's best-selling motorhome range. With a fantastic location just 1 minute from the beach, Warren Farm Holiday Centre is a big, modern, fully equipped holiday park, ideal for a family-based break in Burnham-on-Sea in Somerset.
We've got 600 touring pitches, so we are a very large holiday park. The fields are all split into different sections. So there's a quieter end of the campsite, which is more sort of back to nature, or you can be closer to the clubhouse and the play barn. And within those fields, they're also split into dog-friendly areas and also no-dog areas. So if you don't like dogs, you can go in the no-pet field, or if you're bringing the dogs with you, which a lot of people do, then we're very dog-friendly as well.
Being such a large park, there really is something for everyone. From the sedate pets corner, where the kids can meet everything from a donkey, to a pig, to a guinea pig, to the noisy excitement of an arcade. And there's even basketball or 10-pin bowling on offer, no matter how old you are or how you choose to bowl.
In the school holidays, we run a free events programme. We have tractor rides, we have kids club workshops and shows. There's archery and a climbing wall. So as well as our other facilities, we've got additional free activities for children. And right on the doorstep, you can go and visit Cheddar Caves and Wookey Hole. We're very close to Weston-super-Mare. And Green Leisure Park, the theme park and the splash water park is just 1 mile away, so there's plenty to offer right on our doorstep.
The park is literally packed with facilities and services, including, believe it or not, its very own fish and chip shop and Chinese takeaway. But what about the pitches, you ask? Well, they're basic but very functional. The majority of pitches are grass, with around 130 hardstanding. They all have electricity, but there are no fully serviced pitches here, so water to fill your tank comes via a communal standpipe in each field. Each field also has its own toilet and wash block, where you can access an L-sand point, and those in a motorhome can use the drive over grey waste disposal point. Inside the wash block, there's yet more facilities, including a dishwashing area as well as a large launderette.
We come here because it's an enjoyable camp. Everybody's friendly. The kids love it. They've got a play barn. They've got the toilets are free and the showers. Everything's free down here, basically. The shop is lovely. The people in the shop are really nice.
Facilities are excellent. And fair play, the wardens, they work, to keep them clean. And they are, doesn't matter whether it's morning, night, they're spotless when you go over there. And I mean, they're around picking the litter up and, well, it's just faultless, really.
I don't know if people can afford it. I like to know where and how they can afford it. Because I've been on quite a few pitches, and we're not old, but we're oldish. But we love it.
The countryside around the park is great for dog walking and exploring, or even taking a boat trip out onto the River Axe. There's a fishing lake on site, and if you do feel the need to go off-site, then the bus to Weston-super-Mare is just a 2-minute walk away. Attached to the park is the Beachcomber Clubhouse and Bar, with a wide selection of pub grub available, plus entertainment in the shape of singers and entertainers most nights in high season, as well as bingo a couple of times each week. So if these are the kind of things that float your boat, then this 5th generation family-run holiday centre should definitely be on your wish list for next year. Well, hopefully that's got you in the swing of all things motor caravanning, but that's all we've got time for. We'll be back soon with some more cracking van and site reviews and friendly technical advice from our expert Diamond Dave. In the meantime, you can keep in touch with us via our website, Facebook or Twitter. Until next time then, tour safe and take care.